mean,
Hey there, YouTube. I'm back again today for another How to Play video, and today I'm very excited to teach you how to play Uno Quatro. This is for 2 to 4 players, ages 7+. First thing you're going to want to do is set the board up in the middle where everyone can reach it. Then you're going to put all of the white tiles into the bag. You're going to give them a good shake. Then each player is going to grab 3 of these tiles. The youngest player is going to go first, and they are going to place one of their tiles into one of these slots, a la Connect 4. Well, I'm first teaching you the game. We're going to ignore all the symbology on the side of the tiles and just focus on the colors and the numbers. So we'll just say they dropped this yellow 2 in here like so. Now, this is not their tile. This is a tile that can be used by anyone to win the game, because you're going to win the game by getting 4 in a row, either up, down, left, right, or diagonal of the same color or the same number. And if you're able to do that on your turn, you immediately win the game. Once you've played a tile, you're then going to reach into the bag and draw one more tile. You'll always have 3 tiles in your hand at the end of a turn. Play then moves to the next player clockwise around the table, who once again is going to take one of their tiles and place them into one of the slots. Now that we have some tiles in here, though, I can start to tell you about the one major rule with Uno Quatro, which is that if you play a tile anywhere so that it is touching another tile, you have to match either the color or the number of that tile, potentially both if you're able to. So, for instance, I could play a tile on any one of the slots that's not touching this yellow 2. However, if I wanted to play on this row, or this row, I would have to play either a 2 or a yellow. So let's just say this player is going to play this 4 right here. They will draw a tile to end their turn, and we'll move clockwise to the next player. For their turn, we're going to speed up the game a little bit, and we'll pretend that these are the 3 tiles that they have right now. So let's take a look at our options. So first, we could play this green tile here, 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 or here, because they would all be connected to another green. And when you place a tile, you only have to be touching at least one of the same color or the same number. This red 1 cannot be played anywhere because there's not another 1 out here, and there's not a red out there. And for the sake of teaching, we're going to pretend that we have 3 red 1s in our hand right now. So in theory, we could not play any of our tiles onto the board. If that ever happens where you can't play one of your tiles out, what you do is you take one of your tiles, put it back into the bag, give it a shake, draw a new tile out. Now, if you can play this, then you can play it out there. If you want to, and that is different. Normally, you have to play a tile if you can on your turn. So if you only have 1 tile that you can play, you have to play it. However, in this scenario, you can choose not to play the tile if you don't want to. But let's pretend we drew another red 1 and we can't play anything out. Well, then our turn is over and it just moves clockwise to the next player. And you continue taking turns until someone is able to complete a Connect 4 of either the same color or the same number. And that's the basic game. But now let's talk about the 3 special tiles and how they work. So the first symbol you'll see is the swap symbol right here. And when you play this, you must swap the position of 2 trays out there. So let's just pretend we played this right here. This now means we have to swap any 2 of these, and they easily can be removed and bada boom, popped into their new locations. And if this happens to complete 4 in a row, then you've immediately won the game. And no, you don't have to swap the row that you played on. You can swap any 2 rows. Next, we have the push symbol right here. This one's really quite simple. When you place it in there, you're then going to push it, and then you're going to knock out 1 tile from the bottom, place that back into the bag. This is not optional, and you do have to do it, unless, of course, you play on a spot in which there are no other tiles to push out, in which case you can choose if you want to get rid of that or just leave it there. Now, the obvious question is, what happens if I put a push tile down and it completes a Connect 4? Do I win or do I have to push it down? The rules don't cover it, so make it up before you start playing. Then last but not least, we have the -2. Once you've played this tile, the next player must shake up their hands of tiles and randomly remove 2 of those tiles, put them back into the bag, and so they will only have 1 tile to play with this turn. And after their turn, they will draw back up to 3 tiles. First person to get 4 in a row is the winner, and that's how you're going to play Uno Quatro. If it looks like it might be your cup of tea, be sure to check out that Amazon link down below. Also, consider subscribing as I teach new games all the time, but go have some fun, and thanks for your time, YouTube. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.